Hi everyone! So I had a little play in my journal last night and basically created something quite cheerful and bright. So I really like this style and I wanted to try out some white ink on top of watercolors. If you remember, let me just grab her book again. So Anna Victoria, she came out with this book called Creative Watercolor. I will try to link the book review that I've done. So basically her style has or uses a lot of white ink in there for highlights as well as just some detailing. So here's a great example. And I really love this look. So in essence what she's done here is she created a kind of bloppy watercolor background with some splatters, and then on top she just painted with what I think it is. It might not be, but it looks like white ink, and this is what I tried to do here. Not obviously what she did, because I don't want to copy her work, but in that sort of sense of style, creating very loose watercolor shapes that resemble flowers, and then helping to recognize that it's a flower by adding some kind of almost doodling. So that's what I've done here. Here's actually my mimosa that I painted. It's so beautiful right now in the bloom. So I've been waiting a long time for it to start blooming. Okay, so this is what I want to do today. I want to show you how to create those blobs. Now I have 3 different plates here with old watercolor paint squeezed out of tubes that I was trying out or experimenting with, and frankly I want to use these up as much as I can, so I can actually clean these plates out and start using them for other purposes, because I have all 3. So this is a cheapy plastic one which I use for ink as well. As you can see, dried up, really glossy, that one, black one. But I have a couple of, so this is a green and a purple watercolor here, which I may or may not use today. And then I have this one, which I'm not too much in a rush to use these colors up, because I can use them in any illustration as well. So also I have this old scrap of paper which I've been trying to finish off with my other illustrations, but you just need so little watercolor with certain things that it's just never finishing. So I'm hoping to finish up these today as well. I don't remember what colors these are. It would be quite impossible at this stage. There is a mixture of, I believe, some core watercolors, some M. Graham and Daniel Smith. So that's as much as I can remember. Okay, so let's start with the blopping first, and I'm going to move up these dishes right here, and I'm going to use this brush, which is the Quill 10-0 brush by Jackson's, and it's my favorite brush, and I know a lot of you have purchased it and you are very happy with it as well, so I'm super happy I could share that love. So what we're going to do is, first of all, just adding a little bit of water onto these, just to get them going really. I hardly have any left, yellow left here, but let's see if I can get any out. So all I'm going to do is just now start awakening it up. So what you can do is either start by loosely blopping watercolors, not even thinking about it, and then taking some clean water and just touching it, and that way the watercolor will spread. The other thing you can do is just taking clean watercolor, water. This is a little bit tinted now because of the watercolor that I used, and then you can take that same color and just dip it in and let the magic begin. So same thing here, when it's still wet, if you want to add a little darkness, you can do that, but only while it's still wet. So I'm going to do that over here, just to saturate it a little bit more. And depending how wet it is, if the paper is very wet, it will spread faster. If it's on the verge of drying, the watercolor will stay pretty much where you placed it. So it's up to you how you do it. Now, a good thing to do is to mix other colors at this point as well. So I'm going to go into this, what looks like a very beautiful magenta. So I'm just going to drop in some of this into these areas, and then let's see if I get this. There's some sort of like a browny orangey color type of color. I had to clean up these because they had so much dust in them, so it's okay to touch these colors a little bit. I'm going to finish off this yellow, in fact, so I'm going to also add it in some of these pinks, and that will create a beautiful orange in some of these areas as well, and just let it all blend. Already now it's starting to look quite delicious. I'm going to also add this same pink into this yellow again to connect everything together, and you can go ahead and kind of blend it, just blend it all together so there is less white on the paper, and just keep on building and building. Let's see, I'm going to go into this dish right here. There's a beautiful pink. I'm not sure if it's the same or not, but I'm just going to do that. I'm also going to do some of these doodles. Let's see if that will add anything. And yeah, so the idea is to just finish off these watercolors and have loads of fun with them. Very kind of loose, very abstract. I'm going to clean up. Wherever there is seemingly dust left over, you just need to clean it off, and that's it. So there's some orange, which I think would look beautiful blending into these colors. And I'm just going to go over the top while these still wet, so it's not going to be that exact image that I'm painting, but nonetheless I quite like it. Just looking at the plate, picking out colors that seem lovely to me. So there's some beautiful orange type of color. And just building and building on the colors, that's the fun bit about it, really. If you want your color to be more vivid, then you go back into the watercolors. So I think, sorry if you don't see anymore, just going to pull it up a little bit more up here. And that is basically what I have here, which looks quite nice. And I think some yellow on this side would be good, but I don't have any yellow left. Let's see, what is this one? This looks like a bit of yellow. So this color right here. So we could use that. Like that. And I think I would leave it at this point and go ahead and dry. You can still see, even though I'm trying to use up these colors, they're still there. I'm actually going to go ahead and create more blobs on the other side, just really eager to finish the watercolor. So before everything ends up on the floor, just going to try and move. I just have this massive dilemma of tidying up my desk, making more space, and then a couple of weeks later, there is like as if nothing happened. I still don't have enough space, and it's all still quite difficult to maneuver and all of that. So let me know if you struggle, if your struggles are the same. I'm just going to go into this lovely orange here. Yeah, this sketchbook is a little bit difficult to film because of the shape. It's like a landscape, and once I opened it up fully, it sort of is a little bit challenging. So let's see, there's some yellow here. I'm going to mix it up, create a nice deep yellow. And then just wash it up a little bit, or not up, but you know, out rather. So here I'm just literally blobbing, and that's all I am doing. So there's some of this beautiful color here, which I will add into here, and then some of it into here as well. Just look at the color blobbing that you've done and where you need to break it up a little bit and just dab it in to create some interest. I'm going to go back into this gorgeous pink and add it a little bit here because it seems a touch flat at the moment. So to bring out a little bit of dimension, that's what you do. And I think maybe we'll do some of these pink ones as well. Why not? So like that. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this, and then we will continue with the white ink on top. Okay, so they're nicely dry now. So I've got this one on this side, and then this is the one we did first, right here with the magenta. I like the magenta when it comes in with the warm pink, and sort of isn't too much of it, because I'll show you here on the next one, when it turns into this kind of cool toned violet purple kind of color, I really don't like it. So but I do like these peachy colors that I did on top, and then in this case I also done some splatters right here. And probably color wise, this is my favorite. I've got some beautiful peaches, very pastel pinks by watering out the pink, and just I think this was just only 2 colors that I played on by mixing them and watering them out to create a nice and pastel tone. So you can do different varieties, but today I want to work on the one we did first, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. So first of all, you will need, I'm just going to put it here, you'll need some sort of a dip pen, and I actually used it last night quite a bit when I was creating this piece, and in the beginning it was okay, but then it just started getting more difficult. And I think because this dip pen is not really great quality, it's a very old one, and so I went ahead and I ordered a couple of things. So I ordered there is this set specifically created for drawing, so I'm quite excited about that. It should arrive today, so yeah, we'll see. I will definitely film that. And I also ordered a glass dip pen. Now I've been looking at those for a while and contemplating, and I think for this type of work it should work really well, but we'll see. The next thing you'll need is some sort of white ink, and I really like this Dr. Peach Martin's Bombay White India ink. So it's very pigmented and you need to give it a good shake, and once you've done that, then take some sort of plate, or I prefer to use this tear off palette, which has a resist kind of texture, and so although it's paper, it's not going anywhere, it's sitting on the surface, hence why it's called tear off palette. And that's basically saves you on cleaning up. So I'm going to squeeze out 2 drops, and for now it should be alright. So the way you tend to, or normally the way you would use a dip pen is by submerging it into the ink and making sure that you cover this bit where there is this little slit, because that's where the ink deposits and will stay and leak out slowly. So that's the idea. However, because this fountain or this dip pen isn't really great, it doesn't work that well. I have to re-dip it very often. But anyway, let's see. So what we're going to do now is draw out some, so you see it's not really flowing, and it has nothing to do with the ink. It's purely low quality of this old, very basic fountain pen I have. So what I do is then use it like that. So you see on here, let me just zoom you in a touch so you can actually see what I'm doing right here. So what I'm doing is I am creating like an oval shape, and I find the wonkier the better, and then I'm going to just go ahead and ever so often dip the pen. Now if you like this sort of thinner, thicker line, then don't dip the pen too often into the ink. But if you like things to have consistency and the same thickness, then you'll have to dip it in quite often to keep it like that. And what I'm going to do in essence, I'm just doodling on top. Now for this style, like I said, the wonkier the better. And then in the middle, just going to add these little lines. Then I'm going to doodle around it. And there is a bit of white paper here coming through, so just doodle over it, and whatever lines you lose, that's fine. So there is one here, and then I'm going to create a smaller one just here. You can vary the doodles as much as you wish. I'm just doing the same one for now. And just continue. I mean, I would even go ahead and add a leaf into this, like so. Right? Okay, there we go. So then just build and build on top of it. I think I'm going to put you on fast forward, and then we will see how this ends up looking in the end. So the key here is to go really slowly and draw out every kind of petal and detail of the flower. You can create like a painting of separate flowers that is kind of like a bouquet, or you can just do them separately as I have done here. So this will be a 2-part video, and I will see you in part 2.